Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing, jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing, bushels of fun. Now the jingle bell has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chiming, jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing, jingle bell square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the block. Jingle, jingling beat, that's the jingle bell rock.
All right, well, let's take a minute. Let's take a minute and take a deep breath and let's come into this moment. You know, around the holiday times, people who are in pain, people who are suffering, people who are dealing with the hard stuff in life, everything seems to be magnified at this time of year. So those of us who are feeling merry and bright, those of us who are currently on that straight path rather than the winding road, it's important for us to recognize and to feel the love that we can, that we're able to in ourselves, so that we can also imagine that in every other living being. That love within them soothes them, heals them, lifts them to the place of feeling not alone. It's a powerful thing to recognize that we're not here by ourselves, that we don't exist separate from everybody else, that we truly are one living pulse in the universe. And when we can do that, then we spread exactly that. We allow that to be what rises up in every other living being, healing them, soothing them, allowing them to be peaceful and at ease, even in the midst of the hard stuff that happens in life. So with this idea, with this knowing in our oneness, with this belief and faith, so it is. Amen.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling.
I don't know, middle, top, down. Good news for you, no name on this one. No name on this one. You know about these soul cards that we all filled out back in August, and I love to read them because you answered the question, what do you want Soul Center to be? What do you want it to be in your life and for others? This person says, open, welcoming, a place to learn and serve. How do you want it to feel? Warm, loving, warm, loving family. How will you bless this space? With attendance, board service? Oh, no name. Money, time, and living a better life. Yeah, so thank you. If that's you, thank you. Yeah, wonderful. Well, it's Advent, the Christian calendar of Advent, and Advent is simply a time of preparation. I was mentioning a couple weeks ago, Advent is a time to prepare. It's a time to prepare, and in the spiritual sense, it's a time to prepare spiritually. We prepare for all sorts of stuff, right? We prepare for celebrations and exams and all sorts of things, but Advent is really a time of preparation for that feeds our spiritual life. That feeds our spiritual life, and that's important, isn't it? I mean, it's good practice all year round, but this is a season really dedicated to that, so that when I wake up on Christmas morning, kind of thing, that I feel differently because I've done something that's helped me, that's evolved me spiritually, that's made a difference in my life spiritually. So when I wake up, it's like when you're a child and you wake up on Christmas morning, you're in awe and the Christmas tree's on and the presents are there and you're just smiling and running around, right? That, as an adult, like to wake up knowing that, wow, I feel different. I feel differently, like it really made a difference that I did these things, right? So I was thinking about what those would be, and I shared a couple weeks ago about love, and last week Megan Rose shared about hope. And I thought, okay, what else? What else would really, I would feel so differently if I woke up Christmas morning, if I did this, if I worked on this. And here's something that came to my mind, and that is if I practiced more stillness. Like if I practiced more stillness, I think my life would be different than it is if I would practice less stillness. That stillness of getting away from, and we have so many distractions. We think we have so many more than we ever did, but people throughout history have had plenty of distractions. Plenty of distractions. All right? Today it's the news, and it's the social media, and it's the phone, and it's the computer, and it's the, all those things of running the kids there, or taking care of this, or doing oh my gosh, we have so many distractions. And I think if I would practice stillness more, that I would wake up on Christmas morning feeling a lot differently. And tied to that idea of stillness also is this idea that I thought of presence. As I'm moving through, when I'm not in the stillness, as I'm moving through life, to practice being present to it. It's a form of stillness in me. To me, it is. Yesterday, Pastor Meg and I were over at Kathy and Jean's doing a little light cleaning. And my assignment was to dust. And I thought, well, I could really do this as a chore to get done, because that's what we were there to do, to get done with a chore, right? Or I could just be present to it. And of course, it was on my mind because I was writing this message, and I was like, okay, Paula, be present to dusting, because that's where you are, instead of present to whatever was going to happen after dusting, right? Which was more fun than the dusting part, but I could be present to it. And I think those two things, the practice of those two things, stillness and presence, would really change my life on Christmas morning. So how would it change that? How would it change that? And what I think changes when we practice stillness and presence is that we tend to see life more clearly, and we tend to see life and experience life through the heart instead of through the mind, instead of through the checklists of everything. Does that make sense to you? It makes things more clear. It allows me to see beyond the thing. It allows me to see beyond dusting. It allows me to be present to something else. It allows me to become clear and to maybe have a different perspective than I would have otherwise. And what does that? What in me allows me to do that? Like, how can I see beyond what's here? How is that possible? As human beings, as spiritual beings, really, how does that happen? Well, the third candle we're going to light today is the candle of faith. And I'm saying that faith is what allows me to see. I know I have my back to you. Oh, it's a terrible thing.
Have faith in it.
Candle light. All right, there we go. Faith does that. So then I thought, all right, you know me, and Megan did the same thing, so I thought, okay, we're in the same tribe. So what is faith? What is faith? Where do I go? Well, she went to Webster's. I go to dictionary.com because it's right on my computer and it's right there. Dictionary.com says this is the definition of faith: a belief not based on proof, a belief in God. I was like, I don't think faith is that simple. I don't think that's the breadth and depth of what faith is. A belief? No, that didn't work for me. Like there's something more than that. Because people believe in all sorts of things. But I want to know, like, how does that happen? How does that happen? So I went to a scripture verse that I often taught from when I was at Unity, and it's Paul's letters to the Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1, and it goes like this: faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things unseen. I was like, Well, I've hoped for a lot of things, and they haven't come true. So what does that mean? I don't have enough faith? Like, is that what that means? I'm like, I don't think that makes sense either. You know, this is not clicking with me anymore. Like, I think there's a thread in there of truth, but the assurance of things hoped for? I mean, have you ever hoped for something that hasn't come true? Am I here to tell you you don't have enough faith? Who am I to tell you that? Like, I don't think that's it either. And the conviction of things unseen? Like, conviction, here's the definition of conviction. Conviction says fixed or firm belief. I've already checked that one off the list. I'm like, it's more than belief. So I'm like, all right, well, this isn't quite working like it has in the past for me. And this is the kind of curiosity that I encourage in all of us. Like, if there's a word in a book that you're reading that's a spiritual book, that's whatever, and it doesn't work, cross it out and put another word there. You know, check yourself. You're allowed to evolve. There's a quote from somebody, I can't remember now, about if you're not changing your mind often, you're not growing. You know, if we're not questioning ourselves, then we're stuck with wherever we happen to be. So I'm like, okay, well, this isn't work. So I went back to metaphysics and Charles Fillmore, and I thought, surely Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, is going to put me on the right path when it comes to faith. Well, it didn't really work either. He said, faith is the power I have to shape substance, the power I have to do the seeming impossible. And I'm thinking, here's the thing. If I have this power and then I think I can shape and form substance and it doesn't happen, does that mean I don't have enough faith? Like, I kept coming back to the not enough thing. It wasn't making sense to me at all. So I put it all away, right, Megan? I put all those books aside and I said, listen, I may have learned something from that, but I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to sit in the chair. I'm just going to sit with my journal by my side and I'm going to sit. Because what did I just start out with saying? You know, stillness. I need more stillness. Here I was, grabbing and going, trying to find out, making sure that whatever I was going to say today, you know, I had some evidence for. So I sat for a while. I said, what is faith? What is faith? And I've already alluded to this, but I decided, and it was confirmed as I sat there, that faith is something that operates in the spiritual realm. Faith is not something that operates in the physical world. Like, it's not to do with results. Okay, so the assurance of thing hoped for, like, that's why that one wasn't feeling right to me. It's like, it doesn't happen. It happens in the spiritual realm. It happens at my soul level, not at my body level. And here's the other thing that came to mind is, it's not faith in something. People say, well, I have faith in this. Fine, but what's faith? What is it that you have in that? Because we can have faith in each other. We can have faith in God. We can have faith in Oh, I was going to say government. We can have faith in a lot of things, right? But what is it that we have in that? So it's not faith in. It's not faith in. That's an easy place to go, and one that I went, well, faith is, I have faith in this. And I have faith in Renee as a partner, as my life partner. No, but what is the faith thing? I still hadn't come to it until I did. And this is what I came to. Here it is. Take it or leave it. You know, this is it's just me. If you were at the coffee and conversation, you heard this. Faith is the ability I have, and you have, not just me. It's the ability that I have to grasp and sense and feel the unseen and to empower it in my life. It's an ability I have. It's an ability I have. It's an ability I have to grasp and feel and see and know. Know came up a lot in coffee and conversation. And know something that has no evidence in the outer that it's true. None. No evidence out here. It has nothing to do. See, it happens in the spiritual realm. It happens in the realm of my spirit, in my soul. And it's an ability I have, and it's an ability you have to activate and empower any belief you choose. You choose the belief. Faith in you is what activates it. Faith in you is what activates that belief. It empowers it. It just gives it its oomph, right? You know, one of the things we're also familiar with is the people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th. I mean, they have this power in them. And we all have this power in us. And they used it because they had this belief about something, and that was the result. It was a powerful result. Agree or disagree with it is irrelevant to what I'm talking about. It's the power of that. It couldn't be stopped. It couldn't be stopped. That's how powerful that they used the ability they had to empower that belief about something. We all have that. We all have that. And we choose what we put that power in. It's the ability I have to know something and feel something without explanation, without proof, without evidence. No evidence required for that ability that I have. And we can elevate it. And I think in my belief, I better be careful how I use these words today. I think that's what makes my life meaningful, is because that is a way I operate on the spiritual level. That is the how that I operate. That is how I can believe in a power greater than me. Because there's no evidence. You might say, well, you have evidence for this and that. But I'm saying in the beginning, here was what we talked about yesterday at Coffee and Conversation. Remember Harriet Tubman? You know, she rescued and led slaves from the south to the north. How many times did she do that? Over and over and over again. She had no skill to do that. She just had this thing in her that said, this is yours to do. And what she said was, I walk by faith, not by sight. Absolutely true, right? Absolutely true. Knew when to stop, knew when to go. She wore disguises and ended up on transports, and people didn't recognize who she was. The same soldiers who were looking for her with slaves. And incredible, incredible, incredible. Walking by faith, not by sight. No evidence. No evidence. Right? So that's what I mean by using that ability to see beyond, to feel beyond, to know beyond, and then apply it to belief. Apply it to whatever belief you choose. But you are powerful. You are powerful in that way. So our work with faith is to check in to our beliefs. What do you really believe? Because that's what you empower. So I wrote down a couple things that I believe in, that I have beliefs about. Like, I believe that people are good, that people are not the worst thing they've ever done. And how I think that works in my life is that I'm the one, when somebody does an awful thing, a young man who shoots people, somebody who hurts people, that this belief allows me to know that they are also a child of love, that they can't be anything else. And what they have done in the physical world has been just awful. It's been horrible. But I believe that that person, or me, I'm not the worst thing I've done, and neither are they. Really? You know, this person killed this person did this. Yes, this is what allows me to do that. Faith. That ability to see beyond what happens out here. I also believe that love heals and soothes. That's how it's possible. That's how it's possible to be on the other side of that equation and to have someone taken from you in a violent way and to continue with your life and to not hold that energy in your own heart. Because love heals and soothes, and it is available to all of us. Yeah. I believe faith, my ability to see beyond, that's a gift that we all have, an ability we all have, allows me and helps me to do that. Every human is essential. I believe every human is essential. The person that I look at and think, what is wrong with you? Is essential. Essential. And faith allows me to see that as someone who has something to teach me, someone who came here to teach me something about me. That's what faith allows. Growth is an option no matter what it looks like. It kind of fits with that. No matter what is happening in my life, no matter what it is, because I am able to see beyond it and not get stuck in the weeds with it, I can look at it and say, there's an opportunity for me to grow. Most of the time I'm pretty good at these things, but not always, because you know what I also have a belief about? That I'm not good enough. That I'm going to come here and I'm going to say something and somebody's going to say, who the hell are you to talk about that? And when I use my faith, my ability to see beyond, to empower that belief, it can be debilitating. It can cause me to come here one day and say, I'm not getting up there today. Because I have this belief in me too, and doubt in my worth, or doubt about what I have to say. Anybody relate? Yeah. Yeah. I have that belief. I have a belief sometimes that life is just hard. I've been saying that lately. That, life is hard. Well, I use my ability, my faith to empower that belief. And I get exactly what I don't want. So I just have to check myself. It's not that I need to judge myself for it, but to check myself and realize that I have this amazing power and I want to make a conscious decision about where I want to place it. Okay? Not that I have all these, the first couple beliefs are really flat, really great, weren't they? Well, they are. You have them too. And you also have these, right? What about this belief? This is never going to work out. It's just not going to work. I don't see how it can work. And when I have that belief and I have this faith in here, this energy that says, yes, you're right. That's what faith is, this ability in me to say, yes, you know what? I'm right behind you on that one. All right? And it's not to be afraid of your beliefs. It's just to notice them. All right? Just to notice them. Because this idea and this, what I'm saying is our ability, this amazing ability that we have to see and feel and know beyond what we see out here, empowers every belief we have. It empowers every belief we have. And so I want to check myself on that. Faith will activate any belief. That's what I had. It doesn't discriminate. It will activate whichever one you put in front of yourself. So the way it relates to stillness and presence, I think is pretty obvious, right? Is for me to have that perspective and that perception, to know and to consider at least that we all have this ability. There's no one special that has more. There's no one else that has less. So it's not a matter of, oh, things didn't work out, I must not have enough faith. No, we have this ability. It's a given. It's how we use it and how we use that power to enliven our beliefs that makes a difference. I mean, that's what I got for you today. I didn't get it out of a book. I hope I got it from where I happen to be today. Just like you're wherever you are today, here's where I am today. And I'm ever grateful for y'all showing up. You know, at 11, nobody's here. I'm thinking, is anybody showing up today? The welcome team's here, coffee's on. You know, Renee shows up with the camera. I'm thinking, well, maybe they'll show up, maybe they won't. There's my doubt, right? Instead of saying, oh, I can't wait to see him come through the door. Where I got off track there. I'm so grateful that you're here. In this season and at this time, sometimes ministry is a little tough. See, that's a belief I have. That's an experience I'm going through, I can tell you that. That's an experience I'm going through. There's some people in our congregation who are dealing with some difficult things. You know, I want you to keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Kathy and Jean Sinclair. Gary Chestnut, he's going to be having some surgery this week. My dear friend Day, you know, losing her husband recently. Our dear Fran Lucas, who her and James lost their grandson. They're out on the West Coast right now. All these things are going on. And there's something you're going through maybe that's really tough, you know. You're not alone. We're not alone in all that. I was happy to hear Blue Christmas today, you know, because sometimes that's the way it is. So I want you to keep those people in your thoughts and prayers, and keep not just in your thoughts and prayers, but secure in your heart. And what I mean by that is to say, I want every living being, and those who are close to me, those who are in community, and those who are beyond, to feel what it feels like to be loved, to feel not alone. How about if we just do that, just to feel not alone, to use this ability we have to see beyond, and to feel beyond, and to know beyond that is possible, that even in the difficult times and the intensity of whatever is going on, that there resides at that exact spot love itself. Huh? Let's do that as we go into meditation today. So I invite you to take a deep breath in and to settle into your chair. And to just breathe. Breath is a way toward stillness, is it not? It's just to breathe in and to breathe out and to practice being still right here. And in that stillness, to feel that love in yourself, to know, to see, to feel that through this power that you have called faith, this ability that you have, and use that ability as we sit here together to empower love in everyone, in all beings who are suffering in any way. Say, we now empower love. We lift it. We feel it. We know it. Right here right now for a few moments in meditation. That which is given and that which is mine to keep and yet never belongs to me. That which is beyond me and yet within me. And that which resides within the core and the entirety of my existence. That which I can still see in the deep, silent darkness when my eyes are closed. That which is beyond the moon and the stars and encompasses the mountains and cycles of nature. That which cannot be defined and yet is the definition of all that is seen, felt, heard, touched, or sensed. That which lies within me and strengthens me in the height of calamity so I do not collapse. That which awakens within me when I cannot bear waking up to face myself. That which is love, replacing all longing, releasing all fear and anger, all greed and guilt. That which is the voice of truth, even when I choose not to hear. That which is more sacred than any flesh or blood, past, present, or future. That which is so much more and beyond my realm of thought or vision. That which believes in me even when I do not, is kind to me even when I am not, and forgives me even when I cannot. Always. That which makes sense when I do not. That which needs no explanation. That is God, the divine. Amen.
Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas party hum. the one where you can see every couple tries to stop rocking around the Christmas tree. Let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly. Deck the halls with boughs of holly.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all be well. May all be peaceful and at ease. May all be happy.